Yo, guys and gals, me Mutahar, and today we're on the Fisher-Price Mac, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be like, why are we recording on a Mac today, Muta? What kind of goofy shenanigans are we getting into? Well, ladies and gentlemen, obviously today ChatGPT just dropped its agentic browser. Now, obviously, you're watching this a day after. I need to play around with this. This is ChatGPT Atlas. Now, for anybody wondering, whoa, new browser just dropped? We got the new browser wars? You know, back in the day, we used to actually have real browser wars. Microsoft Internet Explorer versus Netscape versus versus whatever. But now it seems like the new browser war is just different flavors of Chromium with a nice AI extension that browses the internet for you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen a lot of like these agentic web browsers, but obviously ChatGPT's here. They want to completely get you into the mix. Now, the reason we're on Mac is because it's exclusively for Mac OS. It's not for Windows, not for Linux. It's somehow just for the Mac people. So I guess that's where we're at for now. But thankfully, I have pretty much any modern PC device. I'll give it a try. Now, obviously, look, the goal of this is to get into ChatGPT, and there's multiple options. There's the free option, there's the Plus option, and then, of course, there's the $200 a month Pro option for the best of ChatGPT. Obviously, we're going to be using some pretty expensive compute for this. So yeah, you know, it's a matter of like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Do you want, you know, your web browser to browse the internet for you? So obviously I gave this a download, and one thing that I did want to showcase is that there's a lot of weird hacks people are doing with agentic browsers because they're using the agent capabilities to exfiltrate data out of people. ChatGPT, when you install it, requires you to log into their service. So from what I understand, you can't use this browser offline. You need to be connected to ChatGPT or at least have an account with them. Now, one thing that ChatGPT does do to address the security issues is it tells you if you're going to be using the agent mode where it browses for you, do you want to use logged in browsers or do you want us to use logged out browsers? So logged out meaning that it will just browse the internet, but it won't use any of your login sessions, you know, on sites like YouTube. So, you know, if the agent gets all fucked up and starts doing shenanigans like ordering 500 boxes of like, you know, water for you, it will not do that, okay? At least in theory. So to give you an idea, I didn't record that right now. I actually had that when I was recording a little bit before. But yeah, that's an option that's provided. So let's fire up ChatGPT Atlas and see if this is good. Now, first things first, I decided to check its browser privacy, and the tests did indicate you are not protected against tracking on the web. Now, I wasn't surprised because, you know, a lot of people are like, I care about my privacy, security. And here's the thing, if you feel uncomfortable using things like Google, Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, you know, at the end of the day, ChatGPT literally launched a browser that is most definitely harvesting all your information, literally recording your screen, literally using every single thing you do to enrich itself at your cost, no matter what. Remember, there's a reason why your electric bills are going up every fucking month, and it's because of dog water like this. But anyways, going to their old settings tab, for instance, you can see right over here that it does have, again, ChatGPT completely obviously built in. You can ask it to, you know, reference memories. And of course, obviously, you can give custom controls to the agent mode if you need to. But of course, if you're seeing right over here, as soon as you open up a new tab, it connects instantly to ChatGPT 5, which again, it's got, I guess, all of its models, auto instant thinking, and of course, access to legacy stuff. But here you can ask it questions, type in URLs, browse the internet through this way. So it's like, take me to some ordinary gamer's YouTube channel. So immediately, you know, it's like, here it is, there's the channel, right? Here's a breakdown. So, you know, it's like, I almost can't deny that in some ways I do kind of prefer Google to the entire ChatGPT mess. But, you know, let's just get into what you're here for. How good does it browse the internet? So for instance, one of my tests is obviously, you know, the Pico School test, where I ask it to go to newgrounds.com, find a game called Pico School, and select it for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the agent mode right over here. And of course, it says if you want to be logged in or logged out, again, for your safety. I don't even log into anything, so it doesn't really even matter. Paste that prompt in, hit enter, and this is the agent mode, buckos. Watch this shit, dude. Oh, hell yeah. So it fired up. Okay, it's got the cool little browser. It opens it up. Now, again, obviously by now, would have been just doing this myself. But for anybody that's obviously, they want the goal of this is you could have something open up on a separate screen or do some work while this is browsing for you. And actually, it did get to the game. In fact, not only did it get to the game, it's now opening up the game too, from my understanding. So again, anytime you can jump in, you can just take control or just stop the AI. So again, I don't want it to play Pico School for me. I want it to just get to the game. So it passed the Pico School test, okay? And it passed it with pretty flying colors, I would say. Let's try the next test. So all right, let's go to the Discord website and download the Discord application. Okay, so let's see if the agent can download Discord for me. So go to the agent mode, ask it this, feed it entering, and then it's going to fire up the old agent right over here. Now, obviously, there's limitations to how much you can use the agent mode. I imagine it's a pretty expensive feature at ChatGPT right now. So if you get, oh, wait, I'm sorry, I'm not able to download files or applications. Okay, so it can't just go to the site and download stuff for you. Interesting to note. All right, so go to Amazon Canada. Use the search bar to find a game called Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Terrible, terrible sequel, by the way. Open the listing for the PS5 version and add it to the shopping cart. So can the agent do something like that for me? Let's prompt it. So, all right, it's starting up the actual agent. It's starting to search, so planning the user's request. So the way that this works is the agent uses like a reasoning model, and then it just like, again, reasons out every single thing. So here it's at the Amazon.com website. It's going to go to continue shopping. So again, sometimes it makes a mistake and then it has to stop to figure out what to do. So here it finds the search bar, enters the field in, hits enter, and then of course now it's got to look for, again, the actual game. So you can see the reasoning on the right side of this. So it missed the PlayStation 5 version of the game. No, it found it. After a little bit, of course. So it's at the page. All right, cool. Opening the listing. Now it's going to add that to cart. And if all things work, you can see that it's actually added to the cart. And now, at this moment in time, I don't want it to do like the checkout for me. I feel like it could if you're logged in. But yeah, it did what it needed to. And now all I needed to do is just go to proceed to checkout. And boom, I guess we're good to go. So it did that in not too long. But again, these are all things you could have done on your own anyways. You don't really need expensive agentic browsing for any of this shit to begin with. So, okay, here's this thing that I actually wanted to find. Something called an Ain Thor. So I'm going to ask it to find this project or product called an Ain Thor. Open the official product page for it, right? Or actually, I'll just give it a more natural prompt. I saw this cool 3DS looking emulator device called the Ain, called something like Ain. And then I'll just give it a little prompt. I don't know exactly what it is. Could you find it for me? And take me to the official product page. So, okay, I gave it a pretty, like, a human-like response over here. So again, the goal is, I don't know what this is. I'm going to go somewhere else, do my thing, and it's using the agent to figure out what the fuck to do. So I guess first things first, it's like Googling what this is or like trying to search through. So it doesn't even really show you Google's page. It just has its own agent doing all this. And again, this is like stuff, again, designed for people who, I guess, want to take the most boring shit out of browsing the internet. I will say, compared to like Perplexity's Comet, this might genuinely be the better product out there. So again, it's taking me to the page, and again, I can go over here and let's see if it can actually do the checkout for me. So I'm going to go to the agent. Can you add the base 8 plus 128 GB option and take me to the checkout page and place the order? So all right, I asked it. All right, can it actually do the order placement for me? So it's going to select that option over here. So it's going to get started. It's going to pick base 8 128 gigabytes because it scans the screen, picks the option, I think. Again, all of this probably could have been done by me, but hey, we'll let the AI play around, I guess. It's like letting your grandpa or something browse the web for you. He's like really trying to figure out every single step imaginable. And obviously, I'm sure it's going to get faster or whatever. But would you like to remove this protection? Yeah, remove the protection and proceed. So you do have to like sometimes get into it because it reaches sort of like a decision-making point, which you know, I'm glad that it does do that instead of going through with orders and adding things to purchase. So it removes the item and then moves on. Oh my god, it like removed it and it did bring it back. That's okay. So now okay, now it removed it. It just got stuck. It's like, wait a minute. I think it just keeps hitting back. I think we froze it. Hold on. It's gonna try removing it again. Watch. And then if it makes a mistake, it's gonna go all the way back. Oh no, no. Here, hold on. Let me no, stop it. Stop. Let me just stop it. Let me do it, okay? Goddamn. You click the remove button, okay? And then you check. Man, I swear to God, dude, this AI bubble, dude, when it pops, it's gonna fucking pop. Now, one of the big reasons that I would want to play around with this is maybe to see if it can play something like RuneScape, but obviously it's RuneScape does not work in a browser anymore. I was wondering if I could play maybe chess with it, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and load up against a bot and see how the actual ChatGPT agent handles it. Win this game of chess for me. So I'll hit enter, and then of course the agent's like firing up here real quick. It's getting started. It's thinking about the task. So I guess maybe it can play a game of chess for you. And obviously, because it's the agent, you know, you got to remember, right? This is like an AI, so it's got to like try and figure everything out. It's not going to be as fast as a human, but yeah, it's actually playing the game of chess for me. The other players, okay, so that's the other bot doing it. We're literally doing like a bot on bot like violence over here. Okay, so it's doing the actual, okay. So it's playing through it. Fair enough. You know, I almost wonder how effective this would be against like an actual human player or something. Like what this potentially could be is like a cheat engine for like the chess.com side. I'm sure in some capacity, like they probably have like anti-cheat or like a server side check to see if like there's like a ChatGPT option playing around. Oh, and it didn't do the, okay, it failed that one actually. It tried to move the bishop over and it clicked the wrong thing. So not perfect. I don't know if it's an issue with it visually. Okay, so it actually moved that right there. Cool enough. Maybe like at some point, you know, chess.com will probably have to start seeing like the average time of like a player input. I don't even know if that's like a viable way to scan for cheats. But yeah, that is something you can do. And anytime you can jump in, take control, and stop this agentic net nonsense. Now there is one more feature that I feel like a lot of you guys will probably want to see, and that is, will CAPTCHAs work on ChatGPT? Can you use this to beat the CAPTCHAs? So you probably run around with these CAPTCHAs all the time, and I know these piss me off because I have to do them usually like 3 or 4 times. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT if it can solve this for me. So in agent mode, can I do solve the CAPTCHA for me? So I'm going to feed it that simple prompt, and let's see if it can figure out what's going on here. It has to see where the CAPTCHA... Oh, can't... What? I can't complete CAPTCHAs? What? Oh my god! The one thing that I wanted to use it for, it just can't... Oh my... Wait, hold on. Select all the images with bicycle... Oh my... Dude, I would have literally switched to ChatGPT Atlas. I'm not even joking. If it could do this, the one thing you would expect the AI to just do for you, the most annoying fucking task on the internet, is like, I can't do that. I can't do that. That's wrong. That's haram. Stop. Stop. I fucking hate chat. I fucking hate OpenAI, man. God damn, dude. You had one job. Wait, can it do any other like CAPTCHA? Can it do like a normal one here? Can it? Well, I guess it just won't do a CAPTCHA in anything. Hold on, let me try this. Solve this for me. Okay, it's firing up. It's not an open-ended. Oh, it looks like there's a CAPTCHA. I'm not able to complete CAPTCHAs directly. Please take. Oh, dude. You know, man, like, I'm actually so disappointed by this shit, dude. I really am. Like, you know, the one reason that I would probably consider giving up my personal information for it, which is to complete the most annoying shit on the internet, the fucking AI refused to do so. We're done. We're done with ChatGPT Atlas. You know, is there a way that you can get some of this stuff without giving your information to OpenAI? There is a way to locally agentically browse too, which is something that I was playing with a couple days ago. And I feel like there's no perfect video than to at least end off with showing you how you can use a local version that's obviously not going to be as good as what we saw here, but at least you're not giving your information over to OpenAI for really no good tangible reason. You can't even use it to solve CAPTCHAs. There's no good reason that it couldn't do that. It just, I don't know if it's like, I don't know why. It literally is the most annoying shit on the internet. And this is the one thing that ChatGPT feels like an ethical quandary against. Get out of here, dude. And we are now back on the good old-fashioned regular home desktop. Now, one thing that I've been kind of playing around with is something known as Browser OS. Now, Browser OS is a free open source agentic browser. So to give you an idea, this is Browser OS, all right? This is the open source agentic browser, which means you can plug this into, again, ChatGPT. You can plug this into OpenAI servers if you have an account there as well. You can plug this into Gemini, really anything. It's your way to use any type of AI that you need it to. Now, obviously, for this, one of the things that we did was, again, we fed it its own agents. So if you use Browser OS, one thing that, again, we'll do here is just to show you the agentic tests. For instance, the one command that the ChatGPT Atlas couldn't do, we're going to go to Discord's website and download the Discord application. Now, Browser OS, I believe, backends to something like Google Gemini. So we're going to start this browser, and while we're doing this, I'm going to actually take advantage of productivity and fire up a program known as LM Studio. So you can see in the background, it's actually going to the actual page right here. So by firing up LM Studio right over here, I'm going to start a local AI model, right? So again, you can see that while it's doing it in the background, it's going to download for Linux, and of course, it should eventually download the file on my system. So it hasn't stopped yet. Maybe it'll do it compared to like ChatGPT Atlas. I don't know why ChatGPT wasn't doing it. Maybe it was like a permissions thing. Maybe like Apple prevents them from that kind of shit. I don't know. Oh, it actually did download the program. That's crazy. That's awesome. It downloaded the Debian package on my system. All right, so that was with Browser OS, which again, I believe backends to Google Gemini. So we're going to feed it our own actual AI. Now, because I have LM Studio, what I can do is I can load up any of these models right here. So in this instance, I'm going to load in Gemma 3 12 billion parameters. Now, it's a little bit difficult because sometimes you have to find models that support the vision mode, so the actual AI can see what's on the screen, and it should also try to support things like reasoning, which is how it creates those steps that it uses to do tasks on the internet. Oh, it actually is ready. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase the context length, which obviously increases the amount of storage and the amount of RAM required. It increases the amount of RAM for this AI model. Also, the extra context allows the AI to have enough of a space to do these tasks without kind of throwing things out of its memory and whatnot, right? So once everything is set up and ready to go, we're going to go to our actual model over here. We're going to select LM Studio, and we're just going to hit that test, and it should verify. Now, obviously, the way that we're doing this is that we are actually running a LM Studio server, and we are feeding this through this localhost IP address into the browser. So now that it can connect to my local running agent, now everything is done locally on your system. So let's give it a try on that Discord application. Let's give it that Discord attempt again, and you can see the difference. So because we don't have these big cloud models like Gemini and ChatGPT, it's going to be obviously slower. So we're going to give it the enter prompt, and you can see that it is obviously scanning my screen because it has the ability to process image inputs. So the first thing it's doing is it's going to Discord's website. You can see the thinking right over here. So it actually did go to the website. Again, this is agentic browsing running locally on my actual device. So let's see if it can actually download, download Discord. So again, the user wants to download a desktop version for Windows. So, okay, so it actually thought that I was downloading for Windows. It just decided to go somewhere else. So this is where you can see the AI do something different. Now, again, if I stop the AI and ask it to download for Linux, it might do it better. So let's stop it right here. Okay, so it actually clicked download for Linux. Now, obviously with ChatGPT or any of these other browsers, they have access to super mega parameters, super mega models that are obviously a bit more smarter to reasoning than this, clearly. But it's great for local. It did the job locally, albeit a little slower, But again, I didn't have to give up my data. It all happened locally. So if this stuff kind of interests you, there are options that allow you to freely do this on your own. And the thing is, you have to ask yourself if the juice is really worth the squeeze. Now, personally, I don't think it is. And that's literally because it just couldn't solve CAPTCHAs for me. You know, the moment... I feel like at some point we have to like wait for the uncensored AI models to get good enough so that we can at least trust them to do the boring parts of the internet. You know, the one thing that I actually wanted this to do, it just couldn't do it. And all because I guess it didn't fit into its guidelines or guardrails. Actual insanity in my opinion. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, is the ChatGPT Atlas browser worth it? I think if you're completely like, this is not me being facetious. I think if you have a like crippling disability, I think it's an amazing tool, actually. I think if you're somebody that is like, I'm not joking, like, you know, when I made that Copilot video and I said my hands are chopped off, it really made me think, right? Like, there's a lot of people that are quadriplegics, people that, you know, don't have limbs. I think it's kind of cool to have like an AI do the agentic stuff for you because, you know, in that case, it does, it's great to talk to something and have it do, you know, actions on your behalf pretty logically, I would say. Pretty, you know, for the most part, it works. Obviously, if you're a quadriplegic and you need to put in a CAPTCHA, well, good luck, okay? That's never going to fucking happen, it seems for now. But I think in that capacity, it's good. If you're somebody that knows how to use the internet anyways, it's kind of like having a 90-year-old sit around and like browse the internet for you. Like at some point, you should just step in and take care of things for you. Like it already had issues on the checkout page for that one product I was looking at. I can't imagine what will happen when you really start throwing crazy shit at it. But the other thing is obviously listen. You know, if you're thinking of paying for this, don't. If you're thinking this is going to be privacy respecting, it's not, okay? And obviously I think most of us really know that. Ladies and gentlemen, that was ChatGPT Atlas, and I'm not gonna lie, I was personally really let down. Like, I really am. But don't download it. It's only endorsement I can give is if you don't have any limbs and you need something to browse the internet for you, it's a great option. Provided you never run across a CAPTCHA in your life. I am out.